All really quiet.
Hello,
Hey.
everyone. We are live. This is very exciting. And I'm just going to go here and maybe, I don't know what this does. Okay, cool. Let's hide that. Anywho, welcome to the very first BABE Book Club live show. We will be wrapping up all of the books that we read in May, and I'm so excited that we have one of our authors from the month, the lovely Becca Seymour. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
Awesome. I'm so excited. But yes, I'm Lana. You've seen my mug around before, but I will let our other two admins who I couldn't do this group without, I'll let them introduce themselves as well.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Camelia. I'm all over in Europe. So it's a dream to go to Australia and meet you there. So that was my first thinking when I saw Lana posting the idea of this group. So it's exciting. It's something new, and I'm happy to be here and happy to see you.
Awesome.
Okay, I'm Caitlin. I'm on the south coast of New South Wales, about an hour south Sydney. I went to BABE in 2020, so just before COVID hit, and I absolutely loved it and can't wait until BABE 2023 rocks around. So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that it's still over a year away, but it's creeping closer and closer, isn't it? I'm desperate for 2023 to arrive already.
I know. I'm happy to miss 2022. I'm so happy to
skip the whole year.
Just bypass the whole year. I don't think anything interesting is going to happen.
No.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm just going to try and actually I'm just going to make sure that this is where it's supposed to be, like live where it's supposed to be. Give me a second.
You look like you know what you're doing. That's the important bit. I have faith.
That's good, because I'm completely winging this. I've never run one of these before. I do have another book club, but everyone else always does all the techie things, and I just show up.
Well, it's saying that the video is live now, so okay. Awesome. I don't know whether it is, but it's saying it on the page.
Okay, no, I'm in the group and we can see it.
Okay, awesome. Cool. All right. I can't see it, so I don't know if is anyone able to comment just so I can see if we can see comments? Or actually, how about I just go on my phone?
I just commented now.
Okay.
Is that you?
We can see it.
Well, we got a smiley. So there we go.
Yay. Okay, I'm just gonna.
Hi, Bronwyn.
Hey.
There we go.
Hey.
So we are officially live for our first live chat. Okay, perfect. Let's get into it. What book are we going to start with, Lana?
Should we go in order of the way it was picked? So start with.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Stacy.
Yeah. Awesome. Sorry. So what was picked first?
Academy of Assassin.
Yeah. Okay. Kick it off.
Do you want to kick us off, Caitlin?
Sure. Thank you for that. So,
sorry, I'm busy having beer.
Academy of Assassins by Stacy Brooker. So, paranormal romance, reverse harem, magic academy. Okay. I had it as a really slow burn romance. So, if you're looking for a romance, that's great. If you're looking for something to actually happen with a bit of spice, you're looking for book 4. Just a heads up. So That's something we've been talking about. So we'll talk
While
about
we
it
were
as we go.
reading, yeah.
Yeah. So I really liked the characters. I thought that they were really well done. The different, so it being a reverse harem, so it was Morgan as the main female character, and she had, where are we, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys, different paranormal guys, and they were all like different races or whatnot. Species, yeah. And I thought that was really well done. And they weren't the typical. I mean, one was a gargoyle. Spoilers if you haven't gotten that far. But yeah, I haven't come across, apart from, I can't even think of the book. Is it Jennifer Atrimo? There's one which I've come across, which is gargoyles, but they're not a commonly written about species. Agreed. And so I thought that was quite a good one to slip in there. So I really liked the balance between them, and that continues on throughout the book. As the other girls know, I'm sort of one that will read on in a series, and I'll read on quickly, and so I devoured them in.
Things in my ears. I've only read the first one.
Oh, sorry. I'll try not to do spoilers. I read on really quickly, and that balance of characters continued. I thought it was really well done. So definitely keep reading, but the fourth one is more a novella to tack on the end. You don't necessarily need it. So yeah, I
listened to the audiobook, and it's great. It was quite, I mean, I don't like voices that much, so audiobooks, some are good, some are not doing it for me, but this one was okay. So if you want to take it from audio, it's perfect.
Is it just a female?
Yeah.
Actress? Okay, that's good.
Or I don't know, honestly.
It is just a female main character. As the dialogue, the epilogue is from one of the male characters. But apart from that, it's all from the females.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
I do like a good audiobook.
So do I. That's so handy. Especially when you're doing all of the other things.
Exactly.
Exactly that.
Yeah. Awesome. One thing that I did like about this, and I noticed, I actually made a note of it at the very start, was with her runes, how that was her like alarm system, because in a lot of books it's like I just sensed it, but I liked that there was like an added like physical thing that alerted her to like danger and all that sort of stuff.
I think that having those sort of unique moments are really significant and important, and they help you remember the book, because we're all avid readers as well, and I know that my books sort of blur and blend into one another quite a lot. So actually having those just little moments and that little difference, I think, can make all the difference.
100%.
Yeah, and I think the plot was very well done, because while you were reading the book, things happened all the time. You had to keep up. You had to pay attention. So you couldn't actually just, it's only descriptions or things like that. The plot was very good from my point of view.
Yeah, it was always moving. There wasn't downtime. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know that I purchased book 2 straight away. I haven't read it yet because I wanted to jump to the next one, but I picked up book 2 straight away, so it's ready, waiting for me to actually read through.
Yeah, no, it was like, I thought the pacing was really good. It was like a fast, but not so fast that you were like, whoa. You didn't feel like you were missing things. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just like a blur. It was, I liked the pacing. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
And Bronwyn just said, it's a good story.
Yeah, totally.
Agreed.
Agreed, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Cool. Should we go on to the next one?
Yeah, next one's
Does
up.
anyone? Does anyone have anything else to say about that one?
No.
Good.
like
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. What was the next one? Was it Becca's?
I think it was.
I think it was. I have a lot to say about this one. So,
Yeah.
who wants to start?
That's my name.
Yeah. Oh,
You can
so
start, Lana.
if you were wondering why we have weird names tacked on to the end of our names, we decided that it would be fun to put who our favourite character was of the books that we read for book club. And mine was Kent the Vamp. Camelia's was Thatch. Caitlin's was Angel, and Becca was Shadow. So that's what they are. Okay, where to start? Other than I loved this book, and Becca, when are we going to be able to visit this world again?
Hold on. You just went out then, I'm sorry.
I was just saying I loved this book, and when do we get to visit again?
Right, it will happen. It will happen. As much as that I have started one, but now I've actually after I spoke to you the other day, I did another skim through the book, so at least I would be prepared. And as I was reading things like already with Kent and characters like that, and wanting to know whether or not actually I've made the right choice with who would be the second book. So already I'm now doubting myself, because there are so many characters that I just adore within that book, and so much possibility with series development. And part of me thinks that maybe I should just continue with what I have, because I only have about 10,000 words down, because other series that I'm writing sort of took over a little bit. But after reading it again, I don't know who to work on now, whether I should just stick with my plan. Maybe. I don't know. But soon, I think that I would aim to. I have 3 books that I'm currently working on, because obviously I can't ever just be writing one book. So I have 3 books that I'm working on that I have to get done, that will be done this year, which means that really early on next year will be my priority for the next one, for Picking and Water.
I'm going to hold you to that.
I should get it aloud, should I? Just get that one. There'll definitely be at least one. Come BABE, there'll be at least 2, maybe 3 by then. That will be my promise.
Okay, that's really exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this was, once again, this was a fantastic book. The characters in it were just so quintessentially Aussie. I just, as an Aussie, I just so related to the banter between them. I just loved it. Callum and Kent, just, yeah. It's just that office banter that we have.
Oh, and they're just vile to each other, aren't they? And they're just constantly shooting each other the finger and just all of that. And obviously, disclosure, clearly, I'm English. But I have been here for 11 years now. I have been here for 11 years. So, like, there's so much of that that's fed in to this story. And they crack me up. When I was reading through again, they're so awful, but like so adoringly awful to each other. That's so brilliant. Yeah. I love their characters so much.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
I love. If I were to be a guy in a book, I would be Thatch. I don't know. I relate it. So I saw so much of myself in him. So he was from the start. I would be the same. So that's why he's my favorite from all of these May books, because he was fun.
It's quite distinctive, yeah. I know. He does have a very distinctive voice, I think.
Yeah, but he connected so well with Callum, and it's like I don't want to give spoilers, but he said the right stuff when he was supposed to, and I think we were waiting for him to say it to confirm it, and he did, so he delivered. Yeah, so
Yeah.
loved
That's
it.
the thing. This was my first male book, and it's
Oh,
so
yeah.
it was so different to reading a male-female book in terms of the interactions. And I never gave a lot of thought to I never gave a lot of thought to how like the verbal, like the verbal interactions occurred, and it's the dialogue is so different. And it was a real it was different to read, and I really enjoyed it. Like,
I'm so pleased that I broke your cherry. That's like a point of pride. I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased. I think that's the wonderful thing about having two main characters, is that immediately for me that they come out already as quite equal. There's that no gender power imbalance immediately, and that's part of the reason why I love writing so much, because you go in strong with that equality there, and then obviously things can change and depending on their personalities and what they do for a job and such, but that initial equality is such a wonderful thing to be playing with and messing with, I think.
Yeah, no,
We agree.
as I said,
We agree, and we have some comments that everybody enjoyed this one as well. So that's a good pick.
Yeah.
And I think as well, it's not too sexy, which is probably quite a good one for people who have never read before.
Yeah.
That it is quite mild, and whilst there is a bedroom scene, it's not 5, 10, 15 pages of really detailed, minute sort of graphic.
But while reading it, you have the tendency to wish for more.
Yeah.
But
yes.
So
give me more.
Exactly. But
that being said, the shifter scene, like of Thatcher's first shift, was such a sensual scene, much more than a male-female first shift I think I've ever read.
Yeah.
I thought that was just so well done.
Mm-hmm.
So
great build up.
Yeah. Thank you.
What did I had a where is the note? I had a note, but in that scene, I put, this is the most sensual, intimate, freaking first shift I have ever read, ever. And I read a lot of shifter, and I was just like, holy shit, this is amazing.
Everything's so intense, I think, at that point, because of obviously the history and the connection that is there. That the intensity is just unraveling. And I know that other readers have struggled a little bit, in as much as obviously it's just written from one point of view. And I had somebody saying, well, I would have loved that second point of view to actually come in. Because when I was writing it, I just didn't hear his voice clearly enough in my head to feel as though I could do him justice and be able to capture the essence of that character enough. So I was always a little bit worried, I suppose, about making sure that I gave just one person point of view enough oomph and depth to be able to feel all of that sensuality and the heartbreak in some of the obviously more significant themes in the book.
That was amazing. And also the what do you put? Like the original and unique take on how to make a shifter.
Yeah.
I'd never read anything like that either, and I was like, whoa. As soon as I read it, I was like, highlight. There's like this massive paragraph that I highlighted, and I was like, this is amazing.
Those wonderful ideas that come to you at 2:00 in the morning. That's what I need to do.
Paid off.
But
it was amazing. I wanted to talk to everyone about it. I was like, have you read this bit yet? Have you read this bit yet? You should read this bit.
That's good. Thank you.
No, it was awesome.
I wanted to say something. You said about the dual POV, but from my point of view, I think Thatcher was so expressive, even if you wouldn't have guessed that to a man of his caliber. I mean, you would have thought him to be a bit more, I don't know, closed or something, but he was expressful and he showed his feelings and he vocalized stuff. So I didn't need a second point of view from this book.
I think that I do have a tendency to write grown-up characters. I think that in all series, and what I mean by that is that in the series, or variety of different series books that I write as well, is that one of the main sort of review points, which I take pride in as much as that these characters communicate. They do, because they're grown-ups. And you know, if I was writing the YA, perhaps they wouldn't, but I'm writing about adults who want healthy relationships, and part of having a healthy relationship is to communicate. And because I can't keep my mouth shut, so I know I communicate very well all the time with my husband. So I want people to have that, I suppose, that strength. I think it's a strength to be able to say what they need to be saying and say how they feel. You know?
Yeah, I find in a lot of YA particularly, but even in some like adult fantasy, so like they use the non-communication as like the conflict point.
Miscommunication.
It doesn't need to be, and that was something that was done so well in this. I wrote that down as well. I was like, communication. A couple of them knows how to communicate. Yes.
That's excellent. I appreciate you all reading it, and I'm so pleased that, first of all, that you read MM, and maybe that pushed you out of your comfort zones a little bit, or you've never had the opportunity before because there are so many other amazing books to be reading. And I'm just so relieved that you enjoyed it for the start. Because there's always that little bit of fear, so I'm really pleased that you connected so well to my lovely characters.
No, we're definitely waiting for the next ones. Bring on Michaels or Kent, and send them our way.
It may be one of those individuals.
Also, Lucinda as a grown-up.
Potential.
I was thinking that along the way, how for a child being in such a traumatic event can have an impact on her adulthood, and for her growing up with Thatch and Kellen. So
absolutely,
great character, I think.
Thank you.
They were also well fleshed out. I didn't have anything like. I didn't have any qualm. I'm usually like, and I'll note something, but I was constantly just like capital yasses all throughout my notes.
That's awesome.
And you know what's strange? Us talking about it makes me love the book more. So, because I remember stuff that actually impacted me, and I really liked it. So,
that's good. It gives me the enthusiasm to certainly look at what I've written already and say, maybe I can just spend a little bit of time, but I shouldn't be, adding a few more words to this next manuscript.
Yes. There was also, it's like one of my favorite parts was Kellen's inner monologues. I absolutely loved them. Like the way he thought, even, what was the one? He what was it? Hang on, I'm going to find it. When he's talking about like the stuff that he like the last thing that he hoped for, and then he was talking about how he'd like meet someone and like something that would be quite significant in your life, and then he's like, sometimes I hope that my local Thai takeout would bring back their signature dish when they brought it back in a couple of years, but still nothing. I was like, you're so relatable.
Random as well. And like, he is a character, and when I was reading earlier on, I reminded myself of that, something that's never explored fully, but that whole the ABBA mention.
Exactly.
They like mentioned it at the end, and I was just like, okay. And then I was like, I hope that gets explored more in next books.
It will definitely be explored in a next book. You know, the whole sort of spandex that's coming out to play.
Awesome. I can't wait for that.
Cool.
Awesome. But yeah, the tie thing, like the whole book was like, for me, hands down, my favorite, because I still think of it. And it was one of the first that I read. But I think my favorite bit was, other than like I think my favorite part was the unique take on shifting.
Okay.
Of this was definitely my favorite, and then just all the random little quirks that Callum has.
Excellent. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Perfect. Okay, next one up, Lana. What one are we doing? Oh,
I only counted 2, guys. I don't even know. Hang on. Give me a second. I believe it was C.A. Renee.
okay. So Through the
If not, we're
Pain.
going with that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
If not, we're going with that.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome. What did you guys love about that one? Like, what were your first impressions when you started reading it? Because I'm not usually one for reading high school romance or like
Okay.
academy romance at all. So I was quite intrigued with this one.
I tend to I don't often read them, but I do, if that makes sense. I know. Yeah, they're not a staple of what I read, but I do read them. I also tend to read a lot of MMA. If I can find them, I'll read them. And so I found that side of it quite interesting. I really enjoyed it. I absolutely devoured this one as well. I really enjoyed the darkness of it. It definitely went very dark the further along in the series you get. So if you decide to go beyond book 1, be aware of that. There definitely should, and I think there is trigger warnings on that one. I loved the characters. Oh, Vin, give me a book boyfriend like him. He was wonderful. He was so swoony. He was a bad boy, crossed a sweetheart. He was just brilliant. He was so well written. I really liked him as a character. To me, this book had a lot of what I look for in a book. It had that dark romance, suspense with a bit of mafia thrown in, a bit of
everything.
a bit of underbelly sort of the world. Yeah,
I liked
quite
the
liked
mafia
it.
aspect. I loved the mafia aspect. I was like, because at the start it was just sort of mentioned, and then as you get further through, it like comes through stronger and stronger, and I was like, I like this.
Yeah. I am. My only catch was I found it at points I went, they're only teenagers. Like they're doing a lot for teenagers. I mean, I've got teenagers. They wouldn't be doing this.
I've learned to block the teenager part out when I actually enjoy a book. So that would be a minus for somebody that actually focus on that, but I just block it. So I can enjoy the book even if the age difference is not working for me, let's say. Because I've read a lot of academy and high school, which it would have been better if somebody was over 20, let's say, at least over 20. But I understand that. I understand the aspect. And I block it for me just to enjoy more the book.
Yeah.
I did the same thing, which is weird that I don't usually read academy because I was a teen mum. So I know that teenagers were doing all of these things. Because I was just like, when I first started reading it, I was just like, they're babies. And I was like, oh God, I was a baby. Okay, yeah. It's legit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that didn't actually end up bothering me, but I did just sort of block it out.
Yeah.
It was just
I think that's true, is that lots of these sorts of books, that they have very adult readers in mind anyway when they're written. They're actually not really written. I don't think there obviously are lots of examples, I'm sure there are, but they are for women like ourselves who therefore can either get lost in that younger world, or it's also actually, it helps to bring in the angst, I think. And that's what, when I understand what you're saying about you try not to think about them perhaps being teenagers, but sometimes that's where I have to remind myself and say, oh my God, I want to throttle these characters. And I'm like, wait a minute, these are kids. Of course they're going to react and overreact. And therefore, that's all right. That's a good thing. Well, not a good thing, but it's understandable because they are kids. And therefore they can be dramatic or get bogged down into what perhaps as adults we just want to be shaking them a little bit. We can actually perhaps appreciate it a little bit more. Because that's
100%. It's a really good point.
But also we can see that that depends on the environment you grow up in, because somebody may be privileged more, or somebody has a very hard background where you mature a lot. So actually age shouldn't matter on that, because I don't know, a 20-something can be different than a 16-year-old or 17-year-old that acts as a mature person that was forced to be and grow up like that. So I think that there's a balance. Sometimes it's working, sometimes it's not. So it depends.
While I was reading, they were like, for the most part, I blocked out the age. But then when it was relevant to the plot or the story, then I was just like, yes, it's just like you said, Brooker.
I can honestly say I have favorite books where they are teenagers and they are doing a lot of stuff I, as a 31-year-old, wouldn't do, but they are a favorite of mine. So it doesn't matter, honestly. Age is just a number. So it doesn't matter.
Who were your favorite characters in this one?
You've already heard mine. I thought Bean was just great.
I think I'm in agreement with you, just simply because I love that boy. Bruce has that sort of endearment about them as well, that even you want to punch them, you think, oh, but it's okay now, they've redeemed themselves. And I think that little bit of redemption is really important.
Agreed.
You're the same, Julia?
Yeah, I agree.
Mine was the uncle and the auntie, but the uncle. They were just so beautiful. And like his dad jokes, and they were just very wholesome. And throughout the book, I was waiting for them to turn and have an ulterior motive. And it was just really nice that they didn't. That they just.
I have that as well.
Yeah.
I always suspect everybody.
These people are too nice. They're too good to be true. Something's going to go wrong.
I'm like, nobody helps somebody just because they're good people.
Cut off their head.
It was nice to be proved wrong. 100%.
Yeah, good.
It's funny, after a lot of books where you can honestly expect anything to happen, you are so suspicious, and you learn to appreciate when it actually doesn't prove you wrong, or who knows the direction you are in based on that character.
Absolutely. I think the fact is that you are already thinking that and constantly thinking that as you're reading. I think it shows how successful the author is at creating their world and creating that suspicion, even if it doesn't evolve into anything. I think it shows.
Yeah, he's in your mind, so
Absolutely.
yes.
Absolutely.
How good was that Simba scene?
Going.
Oh my goodness. I actually messaged Chrissy when I read that because I was laughing so hard. I scared my kid. I scared my kittens. I was laughing that hard. It was like not expecting that at all. And it made my day.
Those reactions are important. That's good.
Yeah. But no, that was probably my, I like things that shock me, that I'm not expecting. So they really stand out for me. So that was definitely one of those moments for me.
Excellent.
Did anyone else have anything that really stuck out for them about this one that we haven't already covered?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Awesome.
Great book.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, and we have Rejected by Jane and Eve. Becca, do you want to take this one away?
Can I say something? So I know both of you read it after the books were released. I actually read it just as they were released and faced the cliffhangers. And let's say, so the people who actually read it as a group, you are lucky. So I had to, So the cliffhangers were brutal. But I love Jane Eve. I've read a lot of books from her, so she's great.
I just love how I think that Jamin writes such strong female leads. I think that they have such distinctive voices, and it's impossible not to journey along every single step. You know, the points where she's so frustrated, I felt that. And when her heart is breaking, I felt that. And when she first starts having that sort of bubble of emotion and feeling for whichever character she's reacting to at the moment, it's just, I feel like I'm there every step of the way. I think that she's such a fabulous storyteller that it's impossible not to get caught up in the journey completely. But I'm on the third book now. I'm getting through there.
Okay, so no spoilers.
No spoilers.
Just film yourself at the end of book 2, where I actually film yourself with your reaction at the end of book 2.
Yeah. Post it to TikTok.
I got mad on that.
I know, and especially if you had to wait a while before you got to book 3. I can imagine your reaction.
Yeah,
that's why I purposely didn't read it.
Yeah, I've learned with her books always have the worst cliffhangers at the end of them. They always get me, and so I wait for the series to complete, because otherwise, as I was telling the girls, my husband just gets so angry at me because in the middle of the night I'm ranting, because without fail I always get to the end of the book at like 2 a.m. and so I'm having a rant over the fact that the ending is just so good, but I don't have the book for another however many weeks, and it's not fair, and I can't wait. And so, yes, I just wait till the series is finished now.
Yeah.
So that's very nice.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. It's a brilliant series. I absolutely loved it. It's one of her best series. I think it's I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And you're right, her female characters are so strong, in particular this one, and the group of female characters together.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know Rejected was good. Sorry, you can say.
Right. No, I was just going to say, about when you just jumped on the female characters, that I love that camaraderie and that absolute power that comes with that female relationship. I love that. And all the way through, I was thinking, oh, that's how I feel about my besties. You know, that's how they're my ride or die. You know, it's just beautiful.
Yeah. And it's not often that you see that in books. It's all about it's either reverse harem, so it's one female and multiple males, or it's the female and the male. It's never about the girl group around her.
And if it is, there's betrayal over there someplace, somewhere.
Exactly. And that's what pushes the story along. Whereas this, it wasn't. It really celebrated it. And I thought that was just so well done.
Yeah, me too. I thought it's fabulous.
For me, it was funny because at the beginning I was very suspicious on Angel, and she turned out to be good. And I was unsuspicious to the person that should have been suspicious.
Okay, yeah.
And then I was like, what? My focus was shifted. So that's why I got angry, because I didn't see that coming. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But Jamie and Eve introduced me to reverse harem, and I will always be grateful for that because it's a great genre and I love it.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. Me too. She was the first that I'd read as well. The Curse of the Gods series was my first. And I was like, what? What is this Why Choose movement? And how do I get it?
I know. Oh, I want to be living that life.
Yeah, it was definitely awesome. But yeah, Bronwyn said great character development, 100% agree.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I don't know who this person is, but yes, agreed.
Yeah.
That's me.
Oh, is it? As you do?
I replied to the comment.
Oh, awesome. But yeah, no. What was like your favorite thing about Rejected?
I think what we've already discussed in terms of, even though I love Beast, you know, I have absolute hardcore swooning going on. I think it's the relationships that she has with female characters. I just absolutely loved how that was handled and how it developed. Loved it.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, that and the Library of Knowledge. I want to know where I can get myself one of those.
Yeah, 100%. I remember looking at the book and being like, is there, like, when it first came out and seeing the cover, I was like, is there a library in this? So excited.
I just think it's so clever because obviously there's real remnants of Beauty and the Beast in there about obviously how it's just such a fresh take on it. You know, I've read a few sort of retelling, and this one is so much more than that. You know, it sort of went above and beyond and blew so many others out of the water completely with how she actually handled and developed that with this amazing new world, I think.
Yeah, it's like she took the skeletons of it, like the skeleton of the original story, and then turned it into a completely different thing. And I love it when people do that. I know Beauty and the Beast. Like, I will read a retelling because I love retellings, but I want to see how the author recreates or, like, changes it.
Very much so.
It's awesome.
Yes.
Okay. What did we have next?
The last one up. First Blade by Jane Hinchey.
First Blade.
Awesome. Cool.
Okay. Camellia, do you want to start us off?
So for me, I don't mind the insta-love aspect of the book, but I know it's not for everybody, so I would understand why this isn't something that is well received, maybe. I love paranormal, loved the book. It was an easy read, so it's not something that I don't know. I actually listened in audio as well. So, because I work and read, or I do stuff that I don't need to think too much, and I listen to books in that time, which is perfect. So the audio was okay, so quite okay. And I don't know, it had a little bit of tropes. I don't know, the neighbor aspect, which I loved, him coming for her, which I loved. I like Insta Love again, so for me, I enjoyed it. I understand. The battle between her, so it's a bit of enemies to lovers. The dream aspects of her having seen him and actually knowing him in real life, so it's like a duplicity on this part. So for me, I enjoyed it. I didn't read afterwards, so I just finished the first book, but I will try and read the rest of it through June, let's say. So I will try to squeeze them in.
None of ours this week. None of ours this week. All the books that we want to read. I think that I felt the same about you. I urban fantasy and paranormal romance, my absolute first loves. I adore them. And, you know, throw in vampires and I'm just all over it. And I think that what especially I enjoyed about this was just how easy it was. And I don't mean that about the complexity of the world or anything. Just it just flowed. And I was able to just get through it without overthinking and getting stressed and getting frustrated. I just came away, I think, feeling really happy with actually how it developed. And I bought book 2, but I haven't read it yet because I've ended up obviously going down a Jamin feast route instead, and that's getting me. And I'm also trying to write. But I definitely want to finish off the series for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I liked the 2 main characters. I liked how they were developed. I thought that they were quite strong in how she portrayed them, or like how she wanted them portrayed. I got a really good picture of how they were and how they contrasted each other. That strong, sassy heroine versus that alpha, arrogant male who the alcohol, yes.
The main character is quite snarky, isn't she? Which I quite like, that she's quite snarky. Good.
So I quite liked that. I thought, you're right, it made it easy reading in a way because the characters were really well defined. You weren't sort of, in some books, you're really grasping at what the characters are meant to be, whereas these were 2 really clear characters. Yeah. And I liked that. I thought that was really well done.
That's good.
I really didn't think that spoiler, but I really didn't think that they were that was going to happen to her sister. I didn't think that she was going to be turned. And when it happened, because I was just like, no, they're going to magically figure out a way to save her.
Yeah,
they did, but not the way I was thinking. Yeah, and I was just like, huh. But then it flowed really well with the plot because I don't think she would have been okay had her sister not done that.
I agree, Bronwyn, about wanting to know more about her sister and Reese, and I like how it set it up for the next book in that she's a vamp, but the Reese is a werewolf. Sorry, spoilers, but it's that they're not meant to mix, and are they? And so it's that age-old sort of dilemma. So I get what you're saying. I did want more in this book to sort of set that picture of their relationship, but I'm definitely hoping it's coming in the next book. I'm another one who haven't gotten to book 2 yet. It was the last book I was reading this month out of the 5, and so yeah, I'm hoping to get to it before the end of the month, and the next month's book catch me up. But otherwise, that'll be my pile to get to next month.
Regarding of the race aspect, I've read quite a lot of paranormal where actually they mix the races, which I come to realize I don't mind. So in the beginning in paranormal, you used to read or only vampires, only fae, only werewolves, just that.
Yeah.
But now it's a whole mix of them. It's a whole new world. So I don't mind. I think that's the take on the authors, how they are, I don't know, taking it. I don't mind it. They shouldn't, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. That is all of the books that we read.
Cool. Okay. So we've got 2 more things to do tonight. I've got to draw the winner of the book giveaway from the 3 people that entered. I mean, what are those odds? I mean,
yeah,
those are pretty good odds.
They are pretty amazing odds just for putting what dress you may or may not be thinking of or wearing next, or not even next year, the year after. Okay, so not that you can see. Can you see?
no.
Just
Not
You're just gonna have to trust me. Okay, look at his face. It looks trustworthy. Okay, I put 1, 2, 3 on the generator. I'll put a screenshot up of it. Okay. Number 3. So I can't remember who that is off the top of my head because I'm really not that. Jade. Jade, you want a book? I will be in touch with you. Okay. Yay! Okay. Number 2, Lana, do you want to do the honours?
Alrighty, so we have been working behind the scenes trying to get a spreadsheet organised of all of the currently announced attending authors and all of their books and series into the spreadsheet. So as we go through, or as you go through, you can tick all of the books that you've read. And keep track of it that way. And also when it comes to pre-ordering and all of that sort of stuff. So that will be coming, when did we say that was going to be happening?
Probably the next couple of weeks. I'm up to, it's all typed, I'm just proofing, I'm up to the letter M. So it's really, really close. As I said, it's all typed. All the books are entered in. I've just got to check all the fields are working. All the authors are hyperlinked. All the series are hyperlinked. And all you'll have to do is just tick box whether or not you've read the books, basically. We might actually stick a screenshot up of what we've done. Or have a look.
I think everyone likes good tick box.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the thing that drove was,
Yeah. So once you download it, the changes we make after the fact you're going to have to make the changes yourself, but we'll walk you through that once you download it. But yeah, that's all done, and there's so many books in that. It's absolutely crazy. We did not realize the amount of work that would go into that. But yeah, it's amazing. When you see it, it's crazy.
And it's just I would imagine. Obviously, it's another year or so to go. And all these authors keep just writing.
And a lot of them are coming out, and I'm sure there will be a lot more that will attend in the months coming. So we have to be on top of that as well.
Yeah.
100%.
Busy bees.
Yeah. And double check between.
Yeah, go Camellia.
I was saying that it's a lot of work, but it was quite fulfilling, and it's good to do it because we know people will enjoy it. And cross-referencing to Goodreads and Amazon and pre-orders and debating whether to put 5 series, 7 books. So what happens if a series has 20 books? And so let's say that during this spreadsheet, we came closer while discussing it and figuring out the game plan. So, yeah, it brought us together.
And brought together by spreadsheet.
Exactly.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Brahman said, oh, not that one. This one. I'm organizing this. You are so welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will absolutely second that, ladies. You 3 of you are just so hardcore. And I know that I'm not going to be the only reader or author that is actually appreciating everything that you're doing. It's above and beyond, which is amazing. So thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for attending and being with us and writing such a good book.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, when you joined, I was just like, oh my God. Because both you and Chrissy joined, and I was just like, oh, authors are joining. What is happening? What have I done?
What do we do now?
Yeah, I was like, this is real now. But yeah, no, it's been really fun. I've been enjoying it and like making up all the graphics and stuff and the videos, and so no, it's been fun. And between the 3 of us, we actually have like quite different like skill sets.
Yeah.
So, and some of them overlap. So no, it's really good. I'm just like, I'm thinking about doing this, but I have no idea how to do this. And Camelia will be like, I got you. Or Caitlin will be like, so I've done this. I'm just like, oh my gosh, thank you.
It's about bringing so many readers together who are just so like-minded and finding your people. Finding your people is really important.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because in real life, I'm too much of a hardcore geek, and I find it hard to connect to people. Like, I have my besties, but then other than that, like, I would much rather stay home and read a book.
Yeah,
and people want to go out, and I'm like, no. And because of that, I've like, people are like, oh, you don't try. I'm like, oh,
Do I have to try? No, you don't.
Do I have to leave?
I'm sure a lot of people on here relate to that.
I'm sure they do.
I have my besties as well, but they don't read the same books, or at least genre or romance, let's say. So I'm trying to corrupt people around me. So I corrupted 2 friends. My sister-in-law and a best friend of mine, yes. So it's quite exciting to see. But I think I ruined them because I give them only good books. And when they have to, I don't know, go on their own, they will see that it's a struggle to find good books. So, yeah. And
out there. No. A few misses.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
I think we might look to wrap it up. We're hitting almost an hour.
Sweet. I do have one more thing to say. And that is a challenge that has been put forth to our book club by Britt Andrews and her admin team. More her admin team. But that is to record our reactions while we're reading chapter 8 of The Magic of Discovery.
Oh. So, see, already, nicely done. Already my interest is piqued.
Yeah.
Oh, the first book for June is decided for me.
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, how about we look to set a time and we do a live stream of us reading it. So we will set that up, and we will get our reactions through a live stream of us reading chapter 8. of that book by Britt Andrews.
I think that's an awesome idea. I think you should definitely do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is open to everyone in this group. I think it would be really cool to be able to get all of the recordings and then like mash them together.
And do a TikTok.
And do a TikTok.
Yeah. We can put
a TikTok.
With a cow in the background. I'll make sure I'm reading with the cow in the background.
That would be awesome.
Reading over my shoulder, it'll be all right.
Yeah, I think that would be superb. What was I going to say?
memorable.
I think this is from Ange. It is so good to have a reading buddy. I never run out of books to read because we recommend to each other. And yes, I have some now. It's great.
Good.
The husband can take the days off now.
Yeah, but no. So yes, we will chat amongst ourselves and organize a time to do the Chapter 8 challenge. I will make that a topic. So if you do want to, for those watching now or on the replay, if you do want to record your reaction to Chapter 8, just hashtag Chapter 8 challenge, and then I can pop that together for Britt if you're happy for me to do so. But yeah.
Maybe we can do a contest to see the best reaction and do a giveaway. So
I'm down for that. I'm down to put in for like a paperback even. Yep.
Oh.
Bring it on.
Yeah, sounds good.
Challenges out there, so join us. I know.
Yeah, we can give away the actual paper book of the book we are reading. So
yeah,
the magic of discovery.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you like it, we will see it.
Yeah, I was just told, like, record your reaction for this. I was just like, I am so intrigued now. Why? And then everyone in the chat was just like laughing. So I was just like, what don't I know?
Well, we'll know soon.
We will.
We will know soon. Okay. Fair enough. We will set a time and we will let you all know.
Awesome. Well, I'll wrap it up. Thank you so much for joining us or watching the replay. If you are watching the replay, just like hashtag replay or something. I don't know. That's what real people that stream live do, isn't it?
We don't know.
But yeah, so that is our wrap up for May. We will be doing another one for June. If you do want to jump on and do this with us, please let me know and we will organize that. But yeah, that's
perfect. Thanks so much for joining us, Becca. It has been wonderful having you here.
Thank you again for the invite, ladies, and I will look forward to seeing you in 2023.
Yes. Oh, wait. Important question. Are you a hugger?
Oh, I am. I'm very tactile. I tend to lunge on people, so just be prepared that if you're not, just go like this, and then I know to back away easily. Do a little moonwalk as I'm doing it.
Well, I'm the same. I am very much a hugger, and I'm like a full body hugger.
The best kind.
So yes, you'll definitely be receiving a big hug from me when I finally get to meet you in person.
Why not a group hug? Why choose?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sure. Thank you, ladies. I really appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Now we're going to awkwardly wave until I end the broadcast.
Bye.